Welcome back to the action here at the Elite Invite 2024. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, on the comms alongside Stefan Rapazzo, and we have a women's division game for you. BFD Shout versus Jinx midnight. And it is starting to hot up here on the fields as the afternoon cools down. Lewandowska finds Rumpelt. Just gently working it backwards and forwards. We do have a random frisbee that's now wandered its way onto the pitch. Sarah Melvin takes it high on the far sideline into Anna Gerner. Scala dashing away to the deep space. The BFD zone coming out straight away. Nearly a spoil between Lewandowska and Rumpelt. But popping back to Smelvin. Her first year working alongside with Jinx Midnight. Volchuk as well. Von Stebut. Back to Gerner. Relatively passive affair, this Italian zone. Just trying to pin to the far sideline now, though. Set the trap. Rumpelt looking at the high stall option. Huge negative yards to Gerner, but we know she can throw pretty fiercely. Bit of confusion amongst this roster. Just about squeezes back to Lewandowska. Now Volchuk has a little think about that big arcing one to Rumpelt. Instead, takes the flat blade. Now Von Stebut. Rumpelt. Melvin calling for the high release across. Hammer. Nice option from Volchuk. Favourable to that roll curve backhand because the wind currently swelling towards the far side, so easy to lift up that outside edge. Now transition to match. Volchuk has Gerner, throws it into space, and well held for the goal for Anna Gerner.
What
nice.
A great opening sequence by Jinx there. They looked flustered for a tiny bit, going backwards in their own end, but really a good show of patience in the end. The wind's getting a little bit blustery, just enough to justify using that zone. Of course, we know Shout will use the zone very well and may even use it in the stillest of weather. But love seeing the amount of names on this Jinx O-line coming together, all contributing. I think the Levka hammer really blew it open, the sideline to sideline, gave them the space they needed to attack efficiently, and really a very nice opening possession for Jinx, facing a tough zone that they're probably going to get a fair few looks at.
Yes, Jinx Midnight, of course, the new name. It was Jinx Black or Jinx Blue when they had that slight division back in Berlin between those that wanted to play at an ultra-competitive elite level internationally and those who wanted to have good, solid, competitive, more local action back home. So Midnight coming out here with those additional roster spots filled. But Arva Müller, who you'll see on the mixed German national team this year in Australia, the Brisbaneite. A near coach off from Fanjugovic. Lots of this German national programme. That's Greta Melliger, former BFD Shout player, nearly swiping away, but it's Pancotti with the goal. And BFD hold in much faster fashion. There was some scary little moments there where you thought that the Jinx players might have got blocks, but not to be.
Yeah, quickly moved it up the field, but you are right. The one cut in particular, the Scazzieri big gainer, the one she got there before she threw it, had a poach coming and was closing the lane on it. It made it very interesting. Scazzieri, of course, showed her speed, got there, and the rest was made to be easy, exposing that poach. But a very nice, quick, efficient offense by Bologna. But you see that Jinx are going to try and get in the way. They're going to try and get their turns in very different manners. It looks like Shout are going to go after the high pass count and make them make errors, where Jinx are going to try and go for the confusion, cross some lanes, and try and get in the way on the direct line cut. So if our first 2 points are any indication, and maybe what we know about these two teams as well.
Well, Nicole Baiocchi was the assister in that one of the athletes, of course, turning up and in Australia for the Italian mixed side. So we see another appearance of the zone, but Jinx looking a little bit more comfortable with it now that they know they can exploit it. Moving it around the back very quickly, but Humpelt not quite connected with. So having to just take those little half steps backwards. Now Gerner trying to just push through with the crash. Lewandowska over to Humpelt. Trying to keep things in motion and moving. Lewandowska, of course, having only really played beach last season, the Polish international star. You might also know her as Patra or Paulina Dul. Let's flip back to her maiden name and moved to the Canary Islands. There's going to be a foul called and immediately accepted. Great spirit from Ugolini. And Jinx keeps swinging, but the jaws of the zone clearly hungry. Easy hammer. The wind has completely died that rose during this game. Liebert now coming in. So many connections to talk about amongst these athletes. It's like a little web, 6 degrees of frisbee separation. Now it's going to be Lewandowska, who of course became friends with Anna Gerner back at the Eurostars Tour in 2019. Those two connecting.
A few Eurostar connections.
Indeed, and there is going to be an easy find for Sophie Humpelt. Yes, well, to be fair, thinking about that O-line, so you've got Lev Kovalchuk, you've got Patra Lewandowska, you've got Anna Gerner, and who's the other
Sarah
Eurostar?
Melvin.
Sarah Melvin. So 4 of the various Eurostar athletes on that single line. World Games athlete Simone Liebert from Team Germany. It's a whole...
Nikki Priyan was a Eurostar who's injured but not part of this team.
Oh, yes. Just...
yeah, they're oozing with talent. I mean, this game very easily was predicted by many to be the final. It's now the super semi. I think BFD let themselves down with a loss against East Block and put themselves in to the tough door. So one of these two teams won't feature in the final. Tough to believe. I think a lot of people say even season long, these are the far and away favorites. Yaka might have something to say about that. Let's see. Moon might have something to say about that, even in predictability this stage. But before this tournament started, it's very easy to say, yes, Shout and Jinx on paper look better than everybody else.
Well, they do certainly have the depth. I think that might be a slight underestimation of the depth that Yaka have, just especially in terms of their experience. I mean, London Invite, they sort of took a friends team last year and won the day against quite a few national teams, as we see that one be just primo spiked by Mathilde Mascherlani. But that is a really quick, swift counter response from Shout's O-line, and quite happy to punch that one in. I like the use of the zone, sticking with it. Maybe we'll see it kind of change and become more passive. It's still causing the Jinx side to throw loads of passes.
Yeah, quick and easy again as far as time on field for O-lines. BFD Shout have got to be less than 1 minute in their 2 points combined, I would imagine, or maybe just touching that 1 minute mark. Bengi there, the rising now legitimate star, finds herself being the gainer receiver and the assist giver for that goal as Shout levels things up 2 apiece. Holds. All of them clean, Hanny. I was talking to Jinx before the game. about expectations, and you know, they said they know the zone. I spoke to Anna, and she said I might not touch the disc. I might be in the back if they're going to assassinate me again. It might be a game where I just have to go hang out deep, and she hasn't been doing that quite yet. It hasn't been an assassin zone, but they have some expectation to see it anyways.
Well, I mean, last season it was all about the 2 Swedish editions, and we do have Odo Holmlund returning for a second bite of the cherry with Jinx. They got themselves to the final against Shout last season in slightly less ideal conditions for a game of Ultimate. There is a touch of breeze in the air, but otherwise it is pretty nice out here. See Charles there at the tip of the Italian zone. Charlotta Charles, of course, who's had lots of experience playing against many of these Jinx players, with them.
Yeah. Last week at Tom's, a lot of these Jinx players made up the German national team, and Schall was there alongside.
Oh, that's a beautiful IO flick hook from Lufka Volchak, and easy pickings for Anna Gerner. Well, tell you what, Stefan, Gerner's not getting assassinated. She's getting into the end zone on a frequent basis. That is 2 goals for Gerner, of the 3 for Jinx McKnight in total.
Yeah, don't mess with Gerner. She had the separation. As good as those 2 defenders were, Kublitska, an ex-Eurostar as well, Martina Kmetsova, a young rising star who has done it defensively on the biggest stage. We all remember some of the plays from the EUCS final last year, both chasing. Was there ever a doubt that wasn't going to be Anna Gerner's for you, Hannah?
No, it was never. It was never a moment in doubt.
If they had position, okay, maybe they can hold it. But likely, I still back Anna in a lot. But once Anna's got position and Levka threw that into space perfectly, that was just money in the bank.
It's one of the things that people forget about Anna, because she's so good with the disc in hand, and that is her preference. She said the German women's team played offensive line as defense and defensive line as offense when they were in the first day, that Friday of Tom's tourney last weekend. But yeah, really just one of her underrated qualities is just how good she is at recovering the disc for her teams. Her reads and her just picture perfect catches really are a thing to behold. That one not so perfect though. Chiara Lolli throws into the poach.
Yeah, right into the D. Not good placement and positioning by the defense, but all they had to do was react and get the hands up.
So the first opportunity, Melega shoots against her previous teammates, and it's going to be Ortiz with the goal.
Ortiz, the Tenerife pickup for this team, one of the new additions. That the Lewandowska connection is a bit of have that.
Well, and also Fanjugovic, she also is a Canary Islands connection.
Yeah, I guess there's connections all over the place, but not important how they got there right now. Just important that they keep putting them in. Malaga gets the quick pick, or Muller quick pick up to Malaga. And Malaga strikes back against her old side.
I hadn't realised the little sort of horsey action. Ava Müller, I'm sure, was not intending to make any contact with Greta Melaga there, but she sort of in trying to stop herself from completely boshing Melaga out of the way, she sort of does this little stutter step there. That's high entertainment value.
As is this game. First break goes to Jinx. A big moment. Could it be one of the few? Very tidy to start the game. It seems precious thus far.
Well, yeah, this is kind of a bit of a battle of superlatives, if you will. Of course, out on the field, you do have the Player of the Year about to receive that pop pass, giving and going with Elena Bengi. But Kmetsova, Defensive Player of the Year. So who is going to win the day on this pitch? It's all about your teams, though. Connections together, not just individual standouts, although that does help. Müller working alongside Charles. Müller, of course, bolstering the mixed side in Australia later this year. Chiara Lolli back to Charles. Pass tally is high. But keeping the disc moving with rapid tempo. Inside shot through. Scazzieri with the round break backhand. That's going to take quite the track down, but easily done for Gaia Pancotti, and that's the next goal of the game.
Yeah, good chase down by Pancotti. The throw by Scazzieri, not perfect at all, but the throw to Scazzieri, that hockey assist from Charlotte Schall, she really leaned into that throw, got down over the right leg, and really sliced open to the break size, taking a lot of meters, making it oh so easy for Scazzieri to score the goal, even if she floats it up an extra 3-4 meters, or extra 1-2 meters than it needed to be. There's the extra float, and good thing Pancotti's got those chasing legs on.
Well, Scazzieri and Pancotti are two of the more established Bologna athletes that we're used to seeing, of course. Have watched those two players come through the ranks. Scazzieri, of course, having captain Shout for many years back when they were still called CUSP, but still only 26 years old, a youngster, Scazzieri. Many, many years to come of her running on the field. Of course, we missed a little bit of her last season. She was busy playing in North America with a certain team called Fury in San Francisco.
Love to see it. One of the many that are going over and not only holding their own, but contributing, standing out, and getting it done on U.S. soil.
So Lewandowska on that far sideline. The Italians sticking with their zone, trying to pincer and pinch. Simona Liebert keeping Kmetsova quite happy in the deep space now, sticking over to this offside of the field.
Sounds like a travel call. Violation. Yeah, it looks like Rumpelt had a couple extra steps. Are we back in place, Hanny?
We
Looks
are
like
indeed.
it.
Lewandowski on that far sideline, just squeezing through. And there we do indeed finally hit Simona Liebert, who's been keeping the spacing nicely for Jinx Midnight. Scala puts one over the shoulder of Martina Kmetsova. Can Rumpelt get it down? No, she can't. Not quite the read, but she definitely had a good step in front of Kmetsova.
Yeah, I think she did have the step, but Kmetsova was reading the disc a bit more and sucking Rumpelt in to try and have a chance at the disc, assuming Kmetsova was going to go up and get a good chance on it, but by the time it got over Kmetsova, Rumpelt found herself in a position to have to readjust with a big step to the left, and there was not enough time to catch up to that disc.
Well, it was an ambitious throw from Flora Scala, that is for sure. I did not like the look of the option as it was developing, especially having Kmetsova just shadowing in that deep space. So Sinead Dunn, the new addition from the Irish mixed roster to this Bolognese team side. Kmetsova now. Oh, that's a beautiful roll curve. It might be too much though, not quite. But she still makes the explosive bid anyway.
Capello ditches the hat and goes for a commando roll. You gotta like the effort, but Kmetsova, way too much on that one. Out the back. Vision was right. That was the right option to throw to, but mechanics were off a bit and goes out the back. And Anna Gerner will bring it to the line for Jinx.
Well, Capello of Disco Bolo is known for her deep receptions for sure. So Target you're going to see trying to go and make damage in the end zone repeatedly, but Dunn there and goes for the one and done on the reception as well. Punches that one through, but there is a call von Stebut.
What are they discussing now?
I think possibly a travel call, but now they're going to resolve it quite quickly on the field. Goal is signalled. I think use of hand signals, travel on maybe the initial throw from Dunn, but did it make any difference? Was there even a force on her? No.
So resolved quickly. 4 apiece now. That is the break back. And off the error of the Anna Gerner Scuba, she'd been so seamless with her throws up until that point there. A couple well-deployed hammers to cross the field, fighting against this zone. But the Scuba here is errant and short and gets gobbled up by the defense with not enough room. Dunn takes care of the rest.
I love that that's a catch block for Sinead Dunn as well. A really interesting story as to how Sinead Dunn has ended up joining the fold here. She's
Tell us.
Well, essentially, so I asked earlier today, I was like, so did you get that golden ticket, that invite to come and join the fold for BFD Shout? And she said, well, I was speaking to Davide and he said to come along. And so I went to trials. And she's like, I'm not sure if that was what I was supposed to do, but Davide told me to do it. And I feel like it's just sprinkling ideas at this stage. The great puppet master. It's a good look for Davide, just incepting ideas.
It might have sounded something like this. Come to the tryouts. See how you go.
Your Davide impression just gets better and better with every iteration, Stefan.
I get a lot of him in my ear lately.
And what a lucky man you are for it. Volchak across to Von Steyboot. All back even Stevens here in this women's semi-final matchup. Lewandowska. The scuba to Gumpelt. Nice easy flat one for Gerner. Has Von Steyboot on the far side of the pitch, but you've got to throw over the top of Charlotte Schall to get there. It goes backward instead. Good communication with Gumpelt.
We have got the expectation, and there is a foul there. But
well, I love the pop-up from the defender, Cristofolini, doing a fantastic job of being really nice and active.
Let's have another look at this. As I was looking up, was that still in the hand? Was it just out? It was very, very close.
Well, you've got to discuss it because at the end of the day, it's not really how it looks to the rest of us. It's how it feels to Volchuk. And they're going to have a discussion. There's lots of action, lots of noise coming from the field behind us. The game between Yaka and Mooncup, of course, for the other side of this women's bracket.
What I have noticed is that BFD have gone to the assassination zone. Anna's getting the attention she was expecting. Lasma Kublitska, the job of the assassination.
Yeah, but like they're all so good on this O-line. Who do you really take away? I mean, you've got Sarah Melvin right in front of Livka Volchuk. Of course, Volchuk having gone and played with Brute Squad in recent seasons, and of course a world champion.
I hear you. It's maybe too strong. Basically what they're doing is letting them play a 6-on-6 zone with more room if Anna can stay out of the way well enough while being assassinated.
Well, that's why she keeps getting these goals rather than assists to her name, because she keeps just keeping the spacing like her teammates have. I love that Simona Liebert work on the far side. Like, you could just see her in that back corner of the end zone, being the danger player that she is, because all of the throwing power in this back set can hit you pretty much anywhere on the field. Lewandowska, certainly someone who can be baited into a deep shot or two. Or then maybe playing a slightly different role here on this roster. Gumpelt, far sideline. Well, they require the bid, but Lewandowska makes easy of it.
Oh, she came up grimacing a bit for how easy it was, but wow, what a great pickup, Lewandowska.
Well, I guess living over in the Canary Islands, she's gotten quite used to playing on sand, but Charlotte Schall, there we go. That's why you put her in that mid position. Fantastic read for the former Bad Skid player. Catarini on the far side into Rabarlia. Oh, that's a peach of a backhand, and it's Anna Cheshki for the goal, rolling around in the dirt with Livka Volchuk.
Wow.
That's another break, 2 in a row.
Just a game full of stars here. You sometimes forget as the game goes on how deep both of these teams are. To see Rabalia take that one, an absolute class thrower, a coach, a student of the game, put it deep. Anna Chesky, the body out there on the deep shot. This is a clash of the Titans, very much so, in this women's division, and the start of this is going in a way that I have high expectations for high levels of entertainment. This is just phenomenal, Hannah.
Absolutely. I mean, you really cannot ask for finer than that. Anna Cheshki doing what she's become very renowned for, sitting still on the D-line for BFD Shout. But they're going to take a timeout to discuss things. I presume this was probably Jinx trying to figure out how to get around this BFD zone. But they lead 5-4, 2 breaks to the better are the Italians. Welcome back after a brief timeout here in women's semi-finals at the Elite Invite 2024 Leuven, the host for the next couple seasons, and we are delighted to report that fact because the conditions for a game of Ultimate out here are absolutely gorgeous. Just a touch of throwers breeze, and BFD having celebrated emphatically their 3 on the trot to take the early lead here, 5-4. Over Jinx, who started on offense. But they will respond. They have the clipboard out and Nikki Prien on the field. Do the Germans getting themselves ready? This
one is very far from over. Indeed, Jinx, way more than enough firepower to be able to get themselves back in here. All they got to do is score 1 for now. A simple task. Get their defense back in the field. They're down by 1, both on the scoreboard and on the break sheet.
So another look at this Italian zone. A little bit of a bump, but Frederica Wagner now joining the fold on the O-line. She's been playing defense quite frequently for Jinx Midnight, so maybe someone who can try and help recover these points as well as adding that extra bit of season and experience to Jinx trying to fight against this shout zone. Of course, Wagner, having coached that gold medal EUC team last year, has rejoined the fold for German women now that she's back to full steam and power, and has had a little haircut between events, which put off some people. Who's that person wearing the 28 and the long socks? But it's Rika Wagner. Lewandowska, though, as we just have these passes synced together with a little bit extra ease. It's going to require the layout. Levka Volchak with the overthrow.
Yeah, that throw off balance and missed. Expecting a bit more at Anna Gerner, but Anna Gerner giving everything that was available in the tank on that.
Okay. Casarini looking around. Aoki into Kubliczka. So Cristofolini, sorry, in that number 7 shirt. Giulia Cristofolini was one of 2 ultimate siblings, the 23-year-old, but that one is going to zing past Sinead Dunn.
Yeah, Ugolini misfires there, and second chance to hold for the Jinx crew.
Govic around, but it bobbles out of her hand. And quite quickly, Shout have another go at converting a 4th goal in a row.
Quite patient approaching the disc this time, allowing their offense to be very well set up. No rush to it.
Well, and why rush when you're 3 points on the bounce? Yeah. So Casarini starts off with the centres done. Kmetsova, that's a little bit late though. Cristofolini with her another error for this BFD shout line. Volchak's going to take the slightly spicy option. Just about makes it to Frederica Wagner because Sinead Dunn thinks to herself, well, actually, I should probably go make sure I can play defense. And looking at the height match, I understand why she would do that. Lewandowska now solid switch off from the BFD defense. Oh, that's a beautiful shot, but Simone Liebert does not quite have the reach to get there. That will sail past again.
Throw to the right part of the field for sure. A little bit too much zip on it. Could use just a touch of shape. I like the decision. That's a throw you would encourage 9 times out of 10, if not all 10 of them. And just missing a bit of shape and giving that back to BFD. Shout long point here. One of our first marathons. Of course, the 4th in a row that the Jinx O-line's been on the field, so they're gonna, or 3rd in a row rather, that they've been on the field, so they're gonna want to find a way to get off.
They have been rotating a couple of folks through, though. They do have a decent amount of depth in their roster. That one is going to fall away from the clapped fingers of Giovannini.
I think she can see the sideline coming up.
Liebert now, plenty of room. Has Govic underneath, but chooses the around. Really solid mark there from Giovannini after making that error to close the door on the around break. Melvin does a little bit of trickery and fakery on Sinead Dunn, points to the centre space and then just grinds away up the line. Lewandowska now. Just going to put one in front of Sarah Melvin, and she bests her fellow countrywomen, 2 Irish players, tussling towards that line, and a little kiss on the cheek to say, I enjoyed that matchup, did you? Yes, I did.
Yeah, wonderful to see them dueling it out there. A very important hold for Jinx, especially after giving up opportunities on a few occasions for Shout to break once again. They find the medal, they cash it into the corner there, and they tie it up on the scoreboard. They're still down to break, but they get their defense back on the field, give a breather to those stars of theirs that are carrying a lot of the weight of their offensive potential. And, you know, I think it really just levels things out a bit. There was momentum definitely in favor of Shout. Small bits, but it was theirs. And I think that hold just levels things out. Still in the driver's seat, Shout, but I like the toughness showed there by Jinx to really work to get that one in.
So Greta Melliger readying for the pull, having lived in Berlin for quite some time. She had a brief stint of residing in the UK, but over in Norwich. Unfortunately, didn't get to play much in the UK scene due to pandemic interruptus, but has now been residing in Berlin, finishing off her studies for quite some time. Solid amount of bracketing, and we have a zone. Now that I look at the front set, Marina Müller just trying to cause that confusion. Great work to stifle Charlotte Schall for quite a few seconds there. Chiara Lawley taking those negative yards, but happily so. Now back to Schall. There is a little pocket in the middle to hit Scazzieri. But the negative yards being taken, and that one will squirrel away from Nicole Baiocchi. And a short field. Marlene Müller, that lefty around flick. Hormlong squeezing every little moment out of it. And a little bit of a spin move required for Marta Ortiz, but that one will count for the goal. And we are back level once more.
It's actually a lead taker, Hanny. We're back on serve once again.
Yeah. Sorry, on serve, that's what I meant.
And I think we were talking about this at one of the last breaks. We've got this feeling that this one's not just going to be tight, but going to be so tight that it's going to go back and forth. A couple lead changes. That's the second one we've seen already. Jinx takes the lead. The defense tight, but basically just creating a personal error for Shout. And then Marlene Müller to Oda Homlong in for the goal to Ortiz. And Jinx, again, this roster just so deep. That D-line full of stars. You get a Swede, a Spaniard, and a hometown German in there contributing on that very short sequence. So much going for them this year, so much potential.
Well, some of these points, because of the zone that BFD Shout are playing, Stefan, are starting to really drag on, and we are just about to have the time cap applied to this game. So if Jinx can get a break here, we'll be playing to 8 for half-time still. But at the moment, it might be playing half at 7 points. Müller at half field to Charles. 2 German handlers playing on the Italian side. Arcing over the top, and that one will get away from Scazzieri. Frederica Wagner just at that height advantage, blocking the view of Irene Scazzieri.
Yeah, a little bit of advantage on the receiving end. Throw a little bit too high as well, a bit too much on it. Small errors on either side of the connection, and that accounts for this next chance to break for Jinx.
Wagner through to Meliger. Tries to power up line, matched well for speed by Scazzieri. Now it's Ortiz in the deep space. Now Müller. Order Homlong readying for her next charge, but it's Ortiz that's going to hit that cone using that devilish speed. Oh, she's just faster, even faster on grass than she is on sand. Marta Ortiz, dynamite cut. And that will slash open another break in this game. That is 3 on the bounce, but this time for Jinx Midnight.
Yeah, great bit of play for Jinx, moving it all the way up the field. The big shot was the big difference maker, but loved seeing the finish. Clara Herhold, one of the lesser known names on this field. I was when talking to Jinx before the game, I was like, who's that tall girl you guys got, the 98 shirt? And that's her there. You see Marlena Müller with the distribution, the hockey assist. And Herhold goes down, gets wide, unblockable outside throw. And now BFD's turn to take the timeout to see what they can do to tighten the screws.
Yeah, Clara Herhold gets her break with that lovely low pivot, the 21-year-old from Leipzig. But we're going to take a brief break here in the booth. Can BFD Shout change the momentum once more in this game, or will it be Jinx's to take half at 8? Find out in a minute.
Get there. Yes, he will.
Well, Jinx do indeed take that break of score, so half will still be played to a points cap of 8, despite the elongated first section of this matchup. So these two teams tussling. Jinx Midnight currently the better of their opponents. They have 3 breaks versus Shout's 2, but of course they started this game on offense, so that extra little bit of advantage at the moment will be leveled out if Shout can punch in that offensive point to start the second half. Müller finding Sinead Dunn on the far sideline, seeing lots of involvement of these international starlets. The early stage season, of course, for BFD Shout. Scazzieri to Casarini. Back to Dunn. See Pancotti just hanging around in that near side space. Match coverage from Jinx, taking their time. Oh, and Elena Bengi, I'm not sure who her matchup was. I think it might have been Masha Teleshina, but that one will be an easy, clean hold for the Italian side.
Well, whatever they talked about in that timeout seemed to have worked quite well for them. They had more than a few cuts that were wide open. Charlotta Schall instrumental once again. Elena Bengi finds herself in the end zone getting free without surprise this time, and the shout offense, get back in form, give their heads a little shake, make sure they wake up and say, yeah, we are this good, let's do it again. And again, I just love the way this game is shaping up, Hannah.
I'm particularly enjoying, Steph, the fact that we're seeing some of our favourite women's athletes coming out and playing in different positions than we're used to seeing them in. Elena Bengi is usually somebody who you're going to see getting a lot of touches, working in the near side space. The agility on those long legs is really a thing of beauty. But in a similar fashion to Anna Gerner going upfield, expanding, drawing people away, and then sneaking into the end zone for a cheeky goal. Bengi doing exactly the same, taking a leaf out of Gerner's book. Or it might be her coaches that are sort of, calling her to go and make those shapes. Of course, running the clipboard, the head coach for BFD Shout, Federico Caraceni. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I think it's Caraceni.
Caraceni, there we go.
And he's doing a great job. He's been with him for a few years. Davide has jumped in and out as bench boss in between, and sometimes it's not head coach. They're a bit of shared coaches, but certainly not his first kick at the can with Shout.
Volchak fakes that big one this time. Did have Scala in isolation in the end zone, but of course matched up with Sinead Dunn. Pick call as Rumpelt will return to the stack.
Geez, there's a lot of fun matchups out there to watch. None maybe more than the one on the disc, Scazzieri and Gerner, but there are a lot of really tight matchups. Keep your eyes. Libet and Kmetsova, oh goodness, so much fun out there.
Gassarini and Volchak. Oh my god, you've also got Melvin and Masciani. It's all happening out here in this women's semi-final. Gerner has a think about the flash to Scala. 2 targets coming in. It's Liebert though. Melvin recognising and taking the hesitation. Oh, but that's going to require second effort for Ludwika Volchak. Immediately applies the mark. That one doesn't quite get the huck. Instead has to take the underneath. Oh, but that's a beautiful shot. Kmetsova underneath it, but runs out of room. Where was the launch, Steph?
Yeah, but I think that if there was a bid, it would have had to go for greatest. The up, it could have come a little bit earlier. I think she had given it some anticipation. The throw really needed to just have a little less on it. Kmetsova did break out into some wide open space by the time that did get airborne. And maybe it was anticipated to be more tightly contested, tried to hit it at the back line, but with a couple adjusting routes, Kmetsova did get very free, but throw wasn't able to hit.
Yeah, Capello maybe getting a little bit overexcited as we see the layout clap catch in the ground strip for Flora Scala. She whaps the ground in frustration, and rightly so. Seen Scala make those time and time again. Flora Scala, of course, originally an Austrian athlete, but now firmly in the arms of the German roster for the women's division. Oh, spicy attempt from Anna Gerner. Doesn't stop Scazzieri's reception though. She pops back. Oh, goes for it. And again, it's a spoiled throw. This time it's Masciani. The wind conditions are still low for this elite level of women's teams. So that one just a little bit of hastiness. Perhaps this later game slot, we are 5:45 p.m. local time, causing some issues.
Yeah, a bit of nerves there for sure. Masciani got it. Scazzieri had initiated just a bit of quick movement, got herself one step open, and in the end zone, Masciani wanted to force it in and lost the grip, and that one wobbled the ground.
Gerner. Humpelt. You can see the tiredness starting to creep into the legs, but Liebert on the far sideline. Lovely to see her back on the field, having taken that brief break post-World Games. And off she goes. Simone Liebert is there, but not quite there for the footwork. I thought that shot was going to be a big put to Simone Liebert, who was racing away from Martina Kmetsova, taking her for a proper walk around the block, but Lewandowska runs out of room here. Again, the errors creeping in for both of these teams as they tussle against each other. And I have a feeling we might get a timeout call out of Casarini. Nope, just a slow walk.
Ready to keep swinging.
Big efforts, match coverage. That one is a beautiful backhand, but stealing through, Sarah Melvin. Bosh.
I'm not sure Capello even knew Melvin was coming. She thought she had the step, and they're back at it, Hanny.
You never know when Sarah Melvin is coming. She should come with her own theme music, kind of something a little bit like Jaws. Just that kind of threat always there. That's a big old loss from Levka Volchak, and easy pickings for Martina Kmetsova. This time, Liebert did not quite have the same separation she had previously.
Yeah, Kmetsova easily able to hang on to the position in front there. The throw by Volchak, good to get into the area, but throwing to a bit of a 50-50 there, at maybe even a 40-60 where Kmetsova was already in occupancy of the better position.
Well, keeping up with the turns in this game, I think we're on 5 turnovers total. Are we going to get a timeout call now? This, of course, is Jinx's point to hold to take the half. 8-6. Done. Hammer to Scazzieri. Kmetsova just trotting around with Simona Liebert in the deep space, readying for the attack. But Liebert, of course, as a result, able to hang out there as well and makes that shot look very unattractive for Capello. Gerner, a little bit of a bump, but Scazzieri happy. Cheshki is the one that's going to uncork that. And great work from Sarah Melvin. Just about gets a clip on the disc and makes it so difficult. Hats off to Matilde Macellani, though, still trying everything within her abilities to bring that one down, and very nearly does it.
Yeah, Melvin is just staying in the area. That's twice in a row she's been in the deep space and been in the play to completely break it up, or been in the play to help to break it up. And yeah, Melvin is not going to give this point up easy as we see another timeout taken amidst the point.
Well, turnover heavy one here at 7-6 for Jinx Midnight. Can they take half, or will the Italians spoil things again?
Get there. Yes, he will.
The lovely did. Sweeping shots here of the scenes in Leuven. It's the Elite Invite 2024. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, alongside Stefan Rapazzo, commentating this spicy game between BFD Schau and Jinx Midnight. The Germans currently leading 7-6, looking to take half. And this has been a grinder point. 8 turnovers total, Steph.
Yeah, we say it with some frequency that these ones seem to feel like they are worth more. You only ever get one for a goal. We all know that. But the momentum that comes with it, the goals scored, particularly for an O-line that cost 4 or against, the ability to get them off the field or having to leave them out there after these long points, or replace and maybe compromise the efficiency of that your O-line, whoever it ends up being, if it is a replacement kind of O-line. These points really, really important to the outcomes of these games. So let's see how it shakes out after the timeout. Lewandowska will have the disc and the opportunity to hold and take half for Jinx.
things also very exciting in the other side of the bracket. Of course, we have Yaka fighting against Mooncup. Half was taken some time ago, 10-9 currently the score over in that one. If you want to get your eyeballs on that, you can be compared by the inimitable Ravi Vasudevan on the single pole cam stream. Of course, double coverage though here on our cam views. Kvetsova tries to pounce and does. There's going to be a foul call though, a little bit of collateral with Mathilde Mashelani. Let's get another look. It does seem that there's a bit of contact in the body. Liebert does make a good play on it. Kvetsova pounces perhaps a little bit too soon there, Steph.
Yeah, I mean, Liebert was behind. I think it's an accepted foul now. So let it play. Liebert came behind. Kvetsova was holding position, ready to go up. She couldn't even realize it was going to go over her. And
it's not the contact with her that I think is the issue. It's the contact with Mashelani that really just sort of spoils the catch for Liebert. And that is the problem. Sometimes you can be clean as a defender, but your teammates have other ideas. Scala thinks about the spicy shot, but just pops it back. That one is going to escape Rumpelt, though. Dunn will check the disc. Just double check it. Scazzieri wondering what the hold-up is. And another set of turns in this grinder of a point. High one taken well by Dunn. Now Kvetsova. Sinead Dunn. Sasha pops to Kvetsova. Oh, that's a big arcing bid, but it's not going to work out. Kvetsova getting a little bit loose, trying to end the point a little bit too quickly. A nice idea to hit that break side, though.
yeah, a bit too quickly. I think they were just starting to get things going. It seemed like there were open options in the dump space and the Chisley recycle area near the disc. Kvetsova sighted herself something exciting in the back of the end zone, wanted to end this grinder of a point we keep talking about. And of course, fatigue will help you pull the trigger on some of these decisions, wondering, can I get this over now?
Well, Anna Gerner and co are used to it. These Jinx rosters for the past couple of seasons have been markedly small. Not lacking in quality, but certainly the quantity of their players has seen them kind of get stuck in games every so often. Oh, I love that inside high release forehand from Gerner to hit Melvin in stride. Has Simone Liebert. Scarlett's going to go for it. Of course she is. Simone Liebert and Kvetsova with a goal once more. And this time again, Kvetsova just swatting it away. Liebert doesn't have the positioning in those final few moments, it seems.
Yeah, tough to fight it away from a player as good as Kvetsova. She's had the position in line. Scala, I suppose you call it an ill-advised throw when you're trying to back Liebert to beat Kvetsova, yet Liebert can beat many people, and maybe Kvetsova on 1 of 5, or 1 of 2, 5 of 10, but probably should have kept that one in the pocket and chipped away. But for now, it will be Shout who gets a chip.
What I'd like to see Jinx do, trying to hit that matchup between Kvetsova and Liebert, is throw it to the flipping break side. They've been throwing open side shots all day, and that is where Kvetsova is putting herself, as we see Smelvin nearly taking that one away. Huge traffic jams here. Scazzieri, though, opening it up and just about holding on. Fantastic grab for Scazzieri. Is this point going to finally be over? It is! And it will be shouts screaming as they take the field to celebrate that marathon. And my, oh my, a break to put us on Galaxy Point.
What a hard fight. You see Scazzieri exploding with emotion there upon that point going in. She's the one who got open, took the big meters, the all-important catch. But what I loved was that she, as soon as there were reinforcements showing up at the scene, immediately gave it up, made herself a target once again. And the lanes opened up, the score came in. We're going to Galaxy Point. This is exactly what we deserve, seeing these two heavyweights duke it out on the showcase pitch.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. What more could you want, Stefan? And as we see this one finally go to the scoreboard, Massiani bringing that one in. They're taking a timeout on the field. So we will too. Grab yourself a refreshment and see who is going to win the first half with an hour into this game. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous fields, gorgeous company, gorgeous athletes, and an absolute stormer of a game we are having here in the semi-finals at the Elite Invite 2024. The European Ultimate Federation hosting a delightful one alongside Jet Set Open, the home club here. Of course, and Love both playing in these divisions as well. But Jinx and Shout locked in a battle here. 7 apiece, with Jinx to receive to start and see if they can hold on. Everything is even Stevens. Level score, level for breaks.
Oh, the only thing unlevel is my heart rate, probably. Trying to keep up with all the action here, Hanny. It is a game as we've expected thus far. This is exactly what we came here for. Maybe we would have expected this to be one round later in the final, but getting the expected clash in the semi, such a good gift.
Well, it just goes to show the strength of the field here. These 8-team tournament format, I absolutely adore it. Every single game has been watchable, contested, and keeping us guessing here. Liebert on the inside channel to Wagner. This is almost an all-team Germany affair for the O-line. Save Sarah Melvin, and it's Sarah Melvin punching it into Anna Gerner. Extremely quick conversion to take half 8-7 after that long clawing point, Steph.
Yeah, what a difference in points. This one to the last, absolutely polar opposites. Jinx will take the half. Everything is on serve, is it not?
Yes.
It is indeed 8-7, so nothing changes. BFD Shout will receive to start the second half. They are still in need of the one break that they needed by virtue of not winning the flip, or maybe by not choosing offense. And this is just, I can say it a million more times, everything we expected. Two of the best teams, the matchups we see all over, just mouth-watering entertainment.
Well, get yourself some refreshments, folks. We are keeping things interesting here in women's semi-finals. See how the second half will go after these messages. Jinx Midnight currently just about in control in this game. It has been wild, absolutely wild. The first break going to the Billiners, but then the Bolognese responding with a 3-point bounce. Jinx immediately doing exactly the same thing, and that one little extra break to level things out just before the half from the Italians. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, on the call alongside Stefan Rapazzo, and we are on the edges of our seats as to who will advance into the finals here at Elite Invite. Many folks had picked these two to tussle for the championship, but that will be against the winner, of course, of Yaka Moon Cup happening on the other field behind us, and that one is all locked up too, but less of a grinder, that one at 11s. Charles getting us underway with Bengi, with Müller anchoring. Now up that far sideline, just squeezing it through are the Italians. Bengi now setting off, replaced by Charles, little dish. Are we going to see any lateral movement? Or are we just going to keep going? Oh, that's such a lovely lead pass for Ava Müller. Oh, and then allows that around break as well on the secondary option. And what a way to score. Squeeze and then expand.
Yeah, Baiocchi with the goal there. Great finish, but you're right. That chemistry between Charles and Ava Müller that they can show there to go with the inside lead throw around the defense, put a little shape on it, but show the shape to the end zone to where the defenders were without any fear, lead it out, and by the time Ava runs into it, she catches it looking at the end zone still, leading throw to Baiocchi. Very simple because of that throw from Charles and because of that chemistry between those two players.
And of course that connection largely coming by virtue of the fact that those two of course pulled heavy duty back at the under-24s division last year in Nottingham. They took the bronze medal at the World Championships together. I remember having a bit of a joke, Stefan, after that game to win that medal with Charlotte Charles, and said, so how many D points did you play, Charlotte? She didn't leave the field for about half an hour. It was absolutely just scintillating scenes from the youngster who's training to be not a nurse, a medical nurse, as if there are any other kind, and has been doing her training over in Bologna, hence joining the fold last year.
All that, and there's some rumor she might be announced for some special team for Windmill too, Hannah. All right.
I mean, she was Player of the Year last year. If she doesn't make Super Team, then Stefan, you're a fool. Or not,
she just hasn't been announced yet.
Or just not good enough a negotiator. But we've got a special treat for you folks if you've been following the action towards Windmill and that Tokai Super Team. Of course, Tokai, one of the key sponsors of the European Ultimate Federation, as well, as we see a lovely bit of offense. Lewandowska hitting Melvin on the far sideline, and that was a lovely swift hold as well for Jinx. They hold on.
Yeah, that'll break the board from the pair of snowmen. Jinx will go up again, 9-8, holding the driving seat here, hands on the wheel, but Lewandowska uses the sideline, uses the space there after the pop from Rumpelt, and throws a perfect lead pass to Melvin. The two of them might have done a bit of that traveling around America and are now doing that here in Belgium. Elite Invite go-ahead goal for Jinx.
Well, that was an interesting sort of compare and contrast, because both teams just using that sort of up the line action to gain yards. But whereas, of course, with the Italians, it was get kind of stuck 3/4, 2/3 of the way up the pitch, and then having to use the around shots with the lovely bit of lead forehand from Charlotte Charles. This time it's Lewandowska who just goes, you know what, that's Sarah Melvin. She's very good at receiving in the end zone, and just sends the same third huck, but not an easy completion. Lewandowska really showing her quality and calibre as a thrower to make that connection stick. So Shout coming out on offense. Ava Müller, this time alongside Bonfante, who we've not seen too much of in this match. Ilaria Bonfante. Scazzieri, though, on the far sideline. It's going to loz it into Chiara Lawley. Oh, but she has a little stumble and drops the disc before she's able to complete.
Yeah, that was there for the taking. Lawley can't handle it. Maybe the first time I thought it was a zone for a second. If it wasn't, it was a major lag on the handler defense there. Looked like an arrowhead at the front. First time I think I've seen anything but straight up match from Jinx, or there's some potential. I haven't caught it all, but by my estimation, yeah, good first look. They've got themselves the disc back.
Givic. Oh, that's a scorching run through, but the accepted foul. Melega and Pancotti, of course, known each other for quite some time. And all smiles as that one worked out. The neuroscientist thinks about it. Pops it through to Frederica Wagner. Oh, and she has a little nod. Has Oda Holmlong, who's known for her devilish speed, the Swede's second year here with Jinx of Berlin. And Melega in for no, that's not Ortiz. That's Clara Herhold. And that will be another stat for the number 98 on Jinx.
Herhold can claim that one as her break as Jinx go the other way and nail that one. Take advantage of the error by Lawley in the end zone, and those ones sting when they are not taken away but given away and then worked back the other way. Wagner showing the power there, putting the backhand up into the slight wind. Yes, it's a nice calm day, but that is the upwind direction, and just boosting it to find Oda Holmlong before the finish.
So one player I don't see currently on the field for BFD Shout, Stefan, and it is a bit of a query for me, is I don't see the captain this year. I don't see Francesca Sorrenti, the number 5, coming onto the pitch for BFD Shout, and she's not on the roster either.
Yeah, Sorrenti, she's not here. I'd imagine she is on the roster. She is coming back from injury as well. Had an injury at Masters last year in Bologna that took her out. But from what I understand is she is on the comeback trail. She's in recovery. And I'm not sure if she's not here because she's not quite recovered yet or something else personal that's keeping her away. But we shall expect her to see her. And, of course, she'll be a big boost to this team when she comes back.
Shal looking for an option. Sinead Dunn. Turning on the speed. So sassy. Bratstall style. Fashionable high release. Now it's underneath to Casarini. Thinks about the big one. Oh, pockets it. Nearly the swipe through from Rosa Herkens there. Looking very dangerous indeed. Hot pressure from Ortiz. So stoic is Elena Bengi. That one just about held on. A little bit of a ragdoll move and a punch-up block. Oh my goodness. Masha Tereshina, yes.
Yeah, was not sure Pancotti had that one sighted properly. She faked first and then threw the same thing she faked, which is often advised against. That one goes back to Mueller. We've got a Mueller matchup there, by the way, Hannah. Ooh. Ava on Malena.
Yeah. Well, those two, I'm sure, a good matchup. You've got height for Ava, but the lefty for Malena. Foul accepted.
They were Heidi's teammates last year for Heidi Frauen. They know a fair bit about each other as well.
I have to say, I'm pleased to see Marlena Müller coming back to Jinx. Really enjoy watching her work alongside. Woof. Cheeky little pop pass over the shoulder of Schall to Herkens. Shot through to Wagner. Marashina has separation. That's got a lot of loft under it. She's going to have to make every effort, and it's going to sail out the back.
Yeah, another chance for the Bolognese. Well defended by Casarini, but in the end didn't need as tight a defense as it sailed at the back line. Good idea, but execution made to be difficult and not hit for the completion as Shout will get to go the other way as you have another look at this one. Just sail beyond the back line.
Charles. Ooh, a little bit of a stumble in the centre field from Bengi, but thankfully just rolls back out of it. So happy days. This is fantastic person coverage. Pancotti to Charles. Sinead Dunn turns away and says, no, not for me right now. Ortiz handling her well. Chooses to just hang out and receive that underneath. Bengi now. Oh, that's so much separation for Scazzieri. Oh, and that makes it so much easier and so much sweeter when she collects the goal. Easy stuff for BFD Shout.
Yeah, essential hold for Shout that time. They got it on the board. Bengi loved the touch on the finishing throw. Scazzieri was wide open. You could have got yourself in a bit of a tizzy and tried to get that there too quick, but Bengi showing her calm and poise and just floating it so it lands on the wide open Irena Scazzieri.
I have to say, Stefan, I have never ever seen Elena Bengi look even remotely flustered whilst playing Frisbee.
Very fair to say.
She just oozes cool.
Of course, we were very excited to have had the Elena Benji and Bengi Reese photo shoot last year at Masters when Elena Bengi was part of the volunteer scorekeeping crew. That one will go down in history of one of the greatest collaborative photos of all time on a Frisbee sideline.
I'm not sure who's the bigger icon, really, Bengi or Benji.
I don't know. That's why the collaboration was so mind-blowing, Hannah.
They've got two different levels, you know. Like they're and also just cover all your bases. Such beauty in difference. But right now, the beauty in front of us is this game unfolding and unfurling. We have about 4 minutes left on the game clock. So this one is going to go nowhere near the overall points cap of 15. Valchuk pops back to Von Steyboot. Lewandowski now far side to Melvin. Valchuk has Melvin going through. It's a little bit behind, but all fine. Flobble wobble on that one for Scala. Now a bit of dancing from Melvin. Call accepted. No idea what the call was, mind you, because no one really uses their hand signals on that one. Von Steyboot, the stable handler for the German women's team. And this Jinx site for many, many seasons now. Melvin through to Flora Scala, who spills that disc all over that white shirt. Thankfully, it's stain-proof, this disc, but that was a little bit messy. It will do, though, for Jinx.
Yeah, 9-11, the score line, stretching it out to 2 again. You're right, this one getting late. Obviously, a show of the grind out here. You could say it's a defensive game when the scores don't get into the double digits and the teens so quickly. And it has been defensive pressure, but just some long, grindy points that have extended this one out. Jinx in a favorable position right now, but with a shout hold, a single break to put it to Universe Point, and then this pressure mounting situation. So much potential for this game to flip any which way in these final minutes to come, and whatever else we may add after the cap.
So some discussion on this near sideline with the scorekeepers as to how much time has expired thus far in the match. Our game clock has it at about 2 minutes to go, but some conference between Nikki Prien, of course, who's not cleated up for Jinx. She's still recovering from injury. So we'll get some confirmation from you as to when the time cap is applied. But Shout readying themselves to receive this pull from Frederica Wagner. And Ava Müller will move that pull and field it well. Bengi just exploiting that sag off. Oh, that's a laser, but it's going to squirrel out of the hands in an awkward fashion. That is not the execution we're used to seeing from Elena Bengi.
No, that one almost a chance to rescue by Scazzieri, but as you said, not the way what Elena Bengi had planned in her visualization of that one.
Givic finds Wagner. Ortiz off to the races, but Wagner, after that last big shot, didn't work out. Choosing, oh my goodness, Oda Homlong though, spying Greta Meliger in the deep space and putting it beautifully.
And now, exposure, separation. We said how simple it would be to hold and then give yourself a break chance. Now one more break. The separation, Homlong. Everyone contributing now on every end. Oda Homlong doing it out of hand. Beautiful arcing outside in forehand to give a 3-point lead to the Berliners.
Well, it looks a little bit like Elena Bengi is the only one that wants to keep playing Frisbee, but only by virtue of the fact that the Italians are currently circled up at centre field, just applying their tactics to the next point. Another look at that Homlong shot. That's such a high release point. Normally you'll see players really step into their forehand hucks, step out, release the disc with lots of, the drop on that outer edge. But Homlong, it's just so much strength in that shoulder alone, powers the blade, and Meliger, having opened up the space, collects on the other side. So 12-9, Jinx on a real run here, pecking away at their opponents and extending out a lead as another point goes on the board for Yaka in the game behind us. Of course, the matchup algorithm. As a turnover early field, again a gift for Jinx. Oh my goodness, Stefan, can you believe it?
Wow, they are flying through now. The airplane wings running onto the field. But BFD shout in a bit of disarray. I like that they're trying to keep their cool and go straight into a cheer. But Jinx have stolen every bit of momentum now. The back and forth that we had early in the game is gone. And our score sheets are turning green on that right-hand side where we see the Jinx scoreboard. Hannah, that is 5 of the last 6 now but going the way of Berlin, and the separation is getting ugly with time already expired or just about to.
Well, we will get our sideline man, Benji Rees, to figure out if the time cap has indeed expired by the call of the scorekeepers. We've got some very youthful scorekeepers. They're very cute on our far sideline. But yeah, bookends there for Ortiz, doing a fantastic job. What a get to add her as well to your roster. 3 minutes remaining. Our game clock was a little bit hasty, so just imagine that -3. But, well, -5 technically speaking. But, so, yeah. On our game clock, it will be around 85 that this one will conclude. Just a little bit of out of sync.
We do have results from the other field. We'll get to those after this point, but exciting stuff happening.
Bonfante, near side. Müller. This to steady the ship. Bengi. Oh, that's big pressure from Oda Homlong, but Scazzieri won't be phased by that. You're lovely inside to Bonfante. Now Charlotte Schau. Looks around for the reset, but a little bit late and flat-footed. A little bit tentative for Mashelani, maybe. Müller with the skid lay. Make sure that one stays in the pocket. Schau now turns around. You can see the adjustment, very speedy from Ava Müller. She knows when there's that head tilt from Charlotte Schau to get herself going. Inside channel for Bengi. Now back to Schau. Ooh, nearly some traffic there from Ava Müller. Bonfante. Big ripper fake sends Meliga around, and it's Scazzieri though that pipes through. Oda Homlon couldn't contain her forever. Great job to start with, but that's a solid hold for BFD Shout and a base to build upon.
Yeah, great finish. Ilaria Bonfante, loved seeing her out there stabilizing that offense. Heavy backhand fakes, swiping away, keeping the defense guessing. You saw a bite on it. I think it was Meliga who believed the first backhand was going to go, put herself out of position, opened up a free lane. Scazzieri hung on to a hot one, and they brought it to within 3, scored, get their defense back on the field. Still some time remaining. In all likelihood, we're going to play to 15, but if there's anything Shout can do about it, they'd like to keep this one to go to 13, or to 14 rather.
Well, hopefully my nervous energy aids my quest to get to the end of this game without having to dash off to the facilities, Stefan. It is definitely a very, very tight one indeed. So BFD Shout looking to put on a power D line. Massive pull from Casarini, of course. Stole away a nomination for Defensive Player of the Year last season. Second only to her teammate Kmetsova. So you see Liebert coming underneath Melvin. Players all flooding away. Anna Gerner, plenty of room. Pancotti knows it's not going to go that late in the stall count, a big huck like that. Lewandowska now. Krumpel going for a run. Volchuk has to go for the layout, but doesn't quite get there in time. Casarini will get it back in play fairly swiftly, has done, completely available, and takes it. Kmetsova. Agile. Moving through that one. Oh, what a snatch that was! Mashelani coming through strong in the late stages here. Things looking a little bit tentative upfield, but that's fine. Casarini now launches through to Pancotti. Thinks about the inside, takes it. Oh, and just over the line, maybe. No, not quite. Kmetsova. Pancotti.
And so now the discussion is whether whether Kmetsova is in or not. Do they have to throw one more throw here?
Well, it seemed like the agreement between Kmetsova was that that she was happy with the call of not in, or out technically. Pancotti threatening that inside. Oh, and goes for it, squeezes it through, and Giovannini will take the break in the late stages. 13-11. Surely we're going to have a game to 14 now.
Yeah, that time is going to beep soon. I think we've had a clock adjustment. But, wow, the Italians finding a little heartbeat here late in the game, a late game break. 11-13, down by 2. The field is still tilted against them, but we know what a bit of late game momentum can do. You see the smiles turn from frowns to smiles on Scazzieri's face, and that same thing when those grins come upon your face. Anything can happen to carry momentum. This game of Ultimate is a game of runs, and if you get on one at the right time, you never know how far they can carry.
Absolutely, Stefan. Well, we're going to have more of the same coming out. A power line defense for BFD Shout. We've got Gaia Pancotti, Kmetsova, Charles, Scazzieri, Casarini. Of course, the goal scorer Giovannini and Sinead Dunn on the opposite side. Well, we just flipped to the other side, which just talked about. So we have on the German side of things the Berliners, Flora Scala, Sarah Melvin, Levka Volchak, Anna Gerner, Patra Lewandowska, Simona Liebert, and Lena von Steyboot. So no messing around from the Berliner side. They want to chuck this one in the bank immediately. Sarah Melvin attracting lots of attention on that deep shot. Liebert just sitting in this pocket near side. doesn't quite manage to realise that Disc has moved. Now it's Volchak. Lots of action and noise coming from the BFD sideline. Oh, love that inside forehand from Volchak. Lewandowska now has the hand up from the deep space. Gerner getting a little bit of action off of Scazzieri. Lewandowska now again. Oh, that's such a lovely shot to Flora Scala. Can she collect it? Yes, she can! Flora Scala for the goal and the win for Jinx Midnight. They will be going to finals tomorrow. Commiserations to BFD Shout, though. What a game! Yeah,
what a game. What a way to finish. Love that throw option by Lewandowska. Love Scala's poise, sucking in the D a little bit, seeing Kvetsova leave the feet, getting horizontal and just peeling off to the left-hand side, watching it into the breadbasket. Great game played by Jinx. This is their first showing of this new, shiny, polished roster, and to knock the monkey off their back, get a bit of revenge against the team that beat them in last year's EUCF final, and now a chance at potentially further revenge to take on the team that got them last year in the Elite Invite final. Confirmed, Yaka will be meeting them in the final after they got past Moon Cup on the other side in a very tight one over there as well. A 15-12 win. They pulled away just at the end.
Well, how much did the tempo of that game increase? We were sort of sitting around the time cap thinking, will we even get to 8 points for the halftime? But what a fantastic performance. All about that D roll for Jinx Midnight in the second half, really doing damage and just changing the game. We talk about the adjustments that Shout usually make. This time it was the Berliners striking through in just under 90 minutes. But don't go anywhere, folks. Of course, if you're a fan of Ultimate, watching this live or on demand, it's a pleasure to have you with us. We will be rolling into the Open semi-finals here on the show pitch. We have Chevron Action Flash, who have really risen through the standings. They'll be facing off against, if my schedule will load, Mooncatchers, the Belgian Brussels outfit. So that is going to be an absolute scintillator, but I will get out of here because I want to see the highlights from this game. Thank you for joining us. Jinx will be in finals, winning over the Shout 14-11.
Sure, we're having fun, but it don't mean that I'm in love. I like you a lot, but you gotta step up. I'm through trying to tell you what to do, how to make me fall for you. You should learn that on your own. I'll play cool, cause I hope you pick it up soon, and you know just what to do. Don't you? Boy, just be honest. I know you want it. Put some work into it, cause you know that I'm hard to love. It won't be easy, so don't be lazy. Just give it to me, cause you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm not being mean, I'm just being me. I don't make it easy. Up soon, and you know just what to do. Don't you? Boy, just be